How's it going, everybody? It is Dennis, and we're back with another video. It is that time of the month. We're going to be going over how much dividend income we've earned, how much option income we've earned, and how much the total is for the month of May. Of course, as always, transparent as possible. All the numbers, all the funds, all the options are going to be listed on Robinhood. And of course, they're going to be listed over here on the Excel sheet. So we're going to go ahead and show all of that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start straight off. We're going to start off with the first one, which is our quarterly dividend paying ETF, which is OHI. And that paid us $12.32, which is higher than the previous month of February. Now, we have Stag, which paid $4. We have Main, that paid $5.13. And of course, these are just funds that don't pay high dividends, but they're still funds I enjoy to hold for the long term, as well as for the dividends that they earn. Even though they might not be that much, but they are pretty good yielding dividends and are consistently paying consistent dividends. So, moving into the YieldMax fund, which are the more entertaining ones. We have Aptly, which paid $55.06, which is higher than what it was in April, higher than what it was in March and February, but not January. And that is because January had a volatile time for the underlying of Apple, and therefore the dividends that was received in January was higher. We also have the TSLY payment, which was $235.48, which beat the April payment of $227.27, but did not beat all the prior. And of course, this is because, like mentioned before, April seems to be the bottom for TSLY and the underlying Tesla. Therefore, we are trending upwards, and so is the dividend with it. And also, since I am now adding 50% of the dividends into TSLY, I am increasing my share count and therefore increasing the amount of dividends I earn. Moving on to a popular one, which is AMZY. AMZY earned $197.44, the highest payment we've had from AMZY for all the dividends payment we received from AMZY, beating April of 141, beating March of 126, beating February of 135, and of course January of 139. So highest payment from AMZY. Of course, I'm not even adding shares into it. We're taking 100% of these dividends and putting into other funds like Aptly, GOOY, YMAX. So we're not adding into AMZY, and it's still delivering high yielding dividends. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good returns, and it continues to grow, as well as the value of shares continues to grow as well. Like mentioned before, Coney, we exited in January, and that was the last dividend we earned, so no longer in Coney. But we do have GOOY, which earned $46.75. Once again, higher than all previous dividends earned from GOOY. But this is, of course, because we have been adding, more shares into it. We've been reinvesting TSLY's dividends and AMZY's dividends, as well as GOOY's own dividend back into it, and some option income as well I've been putting into GOOY, because it is quite a small position of my portfolio, and I do want to grow it a little bit faster than, let's say, Aptly or YMAX. So we're growing GOOY, and of course the dividends is going with it, and we're at $46.75. Now, with the new addition to our YieldMax funds, and the one that's, diversified to all the different funds, is a YMAX, which paid double what it did in April and 10 times what it did in March, pretty much, and it paid $104.18. $104.18, double, like I said, from April, and almost 10 times what it was in March. And of course, not only did the dividend per share increase, but so did my own sharehold. So of course, it makes sense why it increased so dramatically in dividends. I am investing more into YMAX, and once again, adding my own outside income as well as option income into YMAX to grow that dividend, to grow the amount of money I'm making, the amount of income I'm making. So that makes sense of why I earn so much. But anyways, it's still impressive for the amount of shares I'm holding, and the returns that they're giving are really, really good. 30 to 40%. Consistently has growth every single month. Therefore, you're outpacing the dividend payment. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Moving on to, of course, more boring funds. These are quarterly funds, but they do pay a good amount. HTGC, which paid me $55.16. I have roughly maybe 100 to 200 shares of this fund. It is a real estate fund or business fund. They give loans out. So pretty good dividends on that. We have SPHD. Of course, everybody, I think, knows SPHD. It's a pretty well-known one. $3.84. We have EFC, which paid $11.80. DHS didn't pay this month. Not quite sure why. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it's gonna get paid on May 31st, the end of the month, the actual end of the month. And if that is included, then we'll go over that in the June video. But for now, I have no payment from DHS. Pretty weird. DGRW also did not pay us anything. DGRW did not pay us anything. SCHH did not pay us anything. And RITM did not pay us anything. And of course, RITM is a quarterly fund. And TSLL also did not pay us any dividends. So this whole bottom section is empty. DHS might be paid again in May 31st. They might have just not released the information just yet. If we go ahead and look, yeah, actually they have added it. Here we go. May 30th, DHS will be $14.40. So there we go. We can go ahead and add that in. $14.40 live on video is how much DHS will be paying us. So $14.40 from DHS, and in DGRW, SCHH, RITM, and TSLL, nothing paid out for the month of May. Now, with that all put together, how much income did we earn just from dividends for all these funds? Well, we earned $745.56 just from dividends, and this is not even all the dividends being paid out. Some of the quarterly didn't pay, so some of the growth ones didn't pay. So $745.56. And of course, YieldMax did deliver some great dividends this month. I'm not quite sure if they'll be able to handle that for the rest of the months coming up. We don't know if volatility is going to stay high. We don't know if the underlying is going to stay high, but $745.56 beats all my other payments I've had so far. We beat the previous month of April, March, we beat February and January. January was $728 and we still beat it. We beat it by almost $20 or a little under $20. So pretty damn good. We did pretty damn good when it came to the dividend income for this month. And of course, reinvesting, growing the shares, investing option income to it as well, and constantly improving how much dividends we're earning. And of course, this is passive income because I'm not doing much besides reinvesting and investing option income I make. And the option side is what I kind of use all my time into, or put most of my time into, is the option income, which we're going to get into right now. So $745.56 just from dividends. But if we look into options, I don't want to show too much. There you go. It's just perfect. So option income from RIOT, we earned $893. RIOT is my main position for option income. I have 20.66% portfolio diversity in RIOT, and I am trading a little bit riskier this month. I did take a lower contract trade. Usually I stay at $16 contracts for my 900 shares that I hold, but I lowered it down to $12. The reason I lowered it to $12 is volatility is down on RIOT. Overall share price is down on RIOT, and therefore the premiums you get when you hold it at 16 are not that high. And I want to go for high premiums. I want to pay off the money I put in. And for me to do that, I have to go lower contract price, and that's what I did. I put it at $12, and with all the option income I've made already, and with this additional option income, that would pay off the amount of loss I would have if I was to sell at 12. My average for RIOT is at $14.45. I put it at 12. That is below my average. But once again, I have made so much option income that the loss I would have from a 12 compared to a $14.45, I make up with the option income I've made. And if it doesn't get to 12 by the end of June, then I could roll it again for the next month of July, where I could get another $600, $700 from those 9 contracts. Of course, I also have 4 put contracts, and those 4 put contracts earn me another $200, $300. And of course, that came out to $893 from RIOT. Mara, once again, we stopped trading, so Mara is just there from the previous months we have income from, but Mara we stopped trading, so that's just there. TSLL is the Tesla position I have, and once again, I am trying to get out of this position as well, because I am a little bit too allocated into Tesla. But anyways, we're down in the red for Tesla, and like I said, I like being transparent as possible. We're down negative 40% on TSLL, or the Tesla, and negative 3,169, and is fluctuating up and down. But we're down roughly $3,000 on TSLL, but we're earning, you see, like 100. We're earning 600. That's actually where I got into TSLL, and I did a risky trade, and I made a good amount, but I also paid for it for losing. But 600, 200, 110, 108, and now we're at $122 because TSLL and the underlying Tesla is trending upwards, and therefore the premiums become a little bit better since I'm holding them on the higher side, so I don't I don't sell for a loss. Now, another one that is growing pretty well and is getting pretty good is TNA. TNA is the fund I want to move into. TNA, it trades on the underlying of, or moves like the underlying of the Russell 1000 or Russell 2000, one of those numbers. But it trades based off that, right? It trades based off that index. And it's leveraged, of course. TNA is leveraged. Is leveraged how much? I think it's 3 times, if I got that right. Yep, 3 times. And this is a fund I want to go ahead and move into when it comes to options trading, because it is consistent. As you can see, 135, 106, 137, and now 167. It is consistent. It earns good income, and it's just overall an easy trade to do. I won't be worried as I am with RIOT. And I've mentioned this a lot of times. I do want to move my RIOT position into TNA. And that's why I'm willing to sell RIOT at a loss and then move it into TNA. But overall, for TNA, we had another high month for TNA as we had with dividends, and as we've had with TSLL. We had a high month with TNA where we earned $167. And of course, don't forget, May was a longer month. Well, kind of longer. It's 31 days, and the way it was structured made it a little bit longer with the weeks and the trades. But anyways, $167 earned from TNA. Now, if we go ahead, or before we even move on to that, let me just show you the trades I made, because I want to be transparent. If we look at the trades I made, we can see over here, let's go up to May. Right here in May, we did a 45, we did a 54, we did an 11, 20, and a $37 trade. Don't pay attention to this 43. This 43 was, I extended the original $37. I extended it over to another week of June. So don't pay attention to that. This counts as a June trade, this $43. But the 37, 20, 11, 54, and 45 are all May trades. And that's what brought us to the total of $167. Then we also have TSLL, which is a little bit simpler with the trades. As you see, I've been trying to trade it for the next month, but it's not working out at the price I wanted. But we had 65, 25, and 32 for TSLL, which was why we got it at $122. And if we look lastly at the big boy RIOT, we go ahead and scroll all the way down. We can see that we did a $729 trade on our 9 contracts, which is where we lowered it to $12 per contract. And we got $164 from the other 4 put contracts, which made it up for the total of $893. So overall, good month for options, good month for dividends, but that doesn't matter. How much did we make in total for the month of May? The amount we made in total for the month of May is, oh, you already see it, but it is $1,927.56. Most of that comes from options, obviously, of $1,182. Option income came out to $1,182. But what you can notice is option income is slowly catching up. Option income is slowly catching up to the, or sorry, not option income. Dividend income is slowly catching up to option income. As we can see, we're growing steadily. We're at $745.56 in dividends, and is catching up to option income of $1,182. As you can see, option income is also slowly growing up. Since we're taking a little bit better trades, we're learning a little bit more about options. I'm just getting a little bit better with risk tolerance. But overall, dividends are catching up to options. And that brings us to the total of $1,927.56, beating previous months. The only month we didn't beat was January. But that's because we took risky trades in January, and we had crazy volatility in January. But that's the only reason we're at $2,400 in January. But besides that, $1,927 for 1 month is pretty good. It's pretty good. Of course, most of this money is reinvested. Almost all of it's reinvested, actually. All of it's reinvested, put back into funds, put back into option income to continue to grow and to increase the income I make on a monthly basis. Option income is a little bit hard to increase because option income does take a lot more portion of your portfolio and overall investment to go ahead and increase that. So I don't really increase my option income at the moment, as well as RIOT is 20% of my portfolio, so I really don't need to increase the amount of my portfolio is diversified into options. So I am increasing my dividends. I am trying to get everything to 10%, make a nice 10% portfolio of every single fund I have, and perfectly balance everything out. So if one goes down, another one stays up, and whatever, depending on the market and downturns. But besides that, $1,927.56 $0.46 earned from these funds, earned from the option income. And of course, just to be once again more transparent, these are all the dividends earned. As you can see, every single dividend, you could pause and look, those are the dividends that would have been earned. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to see what happens in June, because we're throwing all the dividends back in. We're throwing all the option income back in. We have record dividend income, which we tossed back in. We have record option income, which we tossed back in. So it's going to be very interesting to see where June is. If the funds pay the same amount, then we'll earn even more. If the funds pay more, then of course we'll earn even more. But if they pay less, then we maybe earn the same amount or less. Of course, it all depends on the funds. It all depends how the underlying performs. It depends on how much volatility there is, what the premiums are from the option income that the funds trade and the ones we trade. So it's going to be very interesting to see how next month is. I think it might stay stable or maybe a little bit lower because, of course, volatility I feel like is going to go down next month. Or not maybe volatility, but the dividends paid by these funds, the YieldMax funds, might go down next month. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Anyways, May has been a great month, great payments from YieldMax ETF, especially AMZY, especially YMAX, paying high dividends. And GOOY as well. GOOY paid $46.75, double. I forgot to mention double, triple of the previous month. So pretty good from GOOY as well in the managers of that fund. But overall, great month. $1,927.56. Very, very good. And we'll see what happens next. We'll see what happens in June. But anyways, that has been the video of this month. As always, post every month my overview of my portfolio and how much income we've earned. And I'll go ahead and we'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget, subscribe, like, support the channel, and we'll see where we are in the next video. On what the next video will be, who knows what will be, we'll see. But we'll see where we are in June as well. Hopefully is a good month, and hopefully we have some good returns and good income. But see you guys anyways in the next video.